So a lot of you are wondering where in the world is The Witcher 4. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about what you can expect from the next Witcher game, even though it's not probably going to be called The Witcher 4. But there's a lot of good indications from CD Projekt RED as to what we can expect from this game, including the fact that Ciri is likely going to be the main protagonist, as according to recent quotes from CD Projekt RED. As you can see here, it says, maybe Ciri's story is something we'll get back to in the future, says CD Projekt RED. We're going to dive into that article, but there's a bunch of other articles here as well. Quotes from the head of studio of CD Projekt RED. It's telling us what to expect from the future of The Witcher. So, hey everyone, what's happening? Welcome back to Open World Games. Hope you're doing good. You guys may know that I cover Cyberpunk 2077 a lot and also other open world games, but I thought today we would discuss The Witcher 4 and what's happening around that one. So let's start off here with some more recent quotes, specifically about Ciri. So let's dive in here. This comes from VG247. It says, "Who's up for The Witcher 4 with Ciri as a lead character? I am." That would be really cool, by the way. It says, "Have you ever considered continuing the Witcher series with Ciri as a lead? That's the question I posed to principal writer Jacob Sazmalik during a recent Q&A with The Witcher 3 developer CD Projekt RED." It says, "Interesting question," he replied teasingly. "Would you like to play a game with Ciri as a lead character?" Yes, mate. Yes, I would. Yeah, I think a lot of us would find it very, very cool to see Ciri as the prominent lead in a Witcher game. Perhaps it would even be a standalone prequel, something like that. Who knows what it could be, but there's a lot of potential of having Ciri as the main character. Now, they did a further interview into this. Let's get into it. It says, "Elsewhere in our chat, Saz Malik spoke about his biggest regret looking back at development on The Witcher 3. It says here, "I regret we didn't get to explore Ciri's past a bit more," he explained. "She's such an amazingly rich and complex character. Due to obvious reasons, well, she's pretty much gone for 2/3 of the game. She didn't get quite as much screen time as we writers would have liked, but hey, maybe it's something we'll get back to in the future." Very, very interesting stuff right there indeed. Again, I think it would be very cool to see for sure. Yeah, Ciri really wasn't seen enough in The Witcher 3. I would agree with that one for sure. Now, we do know that CD Projekt RED is working on a AAA game. It's in development right now. It's coming out after Cyberpunk 2077, of course, but it's not The Witcher 4. We'll be talking about that in just a moment. But let's go ahead and dive into this article right here. It says, "The Witcher 4, Geralt's gone for good. It's definitely coming, and everything else we know so far." So this is definitely interesting stuff. Let's see what the devs are saying right here. So it goes on to say this: "The first 3 Witcher games were by definition a trilogy, so we simply could not name the next game The Witcher 4. This does not mean, of course, that we will leave the world of The Witcher," said Kansky in an interview with Bankier. Now, of course, Adam Kansky is going to be from CD Projekt RED. Now, it goes on to say the following: "The Witcher is one of 2 franchises on which to build the future activities of the company. Today, unfortunately, I cannot reveal anything more." So they're definitely thinking about what they're going to be doing with The Witcher, as long as it's not multiplayer. That's all I gotta say. They have to keep, in my opinion, The Witcher going with a good core single-player narrative experience, because we do know that, yes, we will be seeing, of course, multiplayer from Cyberpunk 2077. Now, it says the latest gossip is direct from CD Projekt RED president Adam Kansky, who said in March 2020 to a group of journalists via Eurogamer that a relatively clear concept has already been staked down for the next entry in the Witcher series, but that full production would kick off immediately after Cyberpunk 2077 hits store shelves. So that's at least the idea, that's the hope. But we all know how Cyberpunk has turned out, of course, and I'm sure they have a wrinkle in their timeline for the next Witcher game right now. I don't even know if they're going to be working on it while they're fixing Cyberpunk 2077. Now, let's keep going here and further explore what this article has to say. Furthermore, it says this, that's on top of official CD Projekt Red forum moderator Donata Blauska, who says this, who recently confirmed that as far as strategy of CD Projekt Red Capital Group for 2016 through 2021 is concerned, its plans to release the second AAA game by 2021 remain unchanged. We are currently focusing on the production and promotion of Cyberpunk 2077, so we do not want to comment on further projects. Now, they say this, that smells like The Witcher 4 to me, and sometime before 2021. I don't agree with that at all, because we do have recent news that, yes, what that AAA title is right here from Happy Gamer. Let's take a look and see what they have to say. So, it says this. Because of the success of the Netflix series, The Witcher's popularity has reached an all-time high. As fans of the show, books, and games are craving more content related to its world. Sadly, though, it appears that longtime developer of the game, CD Projekt Red, doesn't have a new Witcher game in development. Now, not right now. I don't think it's in development right now. It's just being conceptualized. So that's something to really know. I think it's years and years away, to be blunt. Now, the article goes on to say this. This comes from Happy Gamer. It says, following the announcement that CD Projekt Red's newest IP, Cyberpunk 2077, is going to be delayed until September. This is a little older article, of course. It says, the Poland-based video game studio revealed during a conference call that while they do have another AAA title in development, it's not The Witcher 4. CD Projekt Red's Senior VP of Business Development, Mikhail Nowalski, said during the aforementioned conference call that the other AAA title that's being developed is the multiplayer mode for Cyberpunk 2077, which is rumored to be released sometime during 2022. So there you have it. I think this is going to be the game that a lot of the articles are referring to. I think they're going to be focused strictly on Cyberpunk, single player, the free DLC, the expansions, and then Cyberpunk multiplayer by 2022. They want to turn this franchise, Cyberpunk specifically, into the new GTA Online. And then I think they're going to revisit the Witcher franchise. They're going to try, I think, to keep Cyberpunk their GTA, and then the Witcher franchise their Red Dead Redemption. That's my assessment. I personally think they're trying that Rockstar strategy. Let me know if you guys agree with that one as well. Now, let's keep going. Now, this is interesting right here. It says CD Projekt just signed a new deal with Witcher creator Andrzej Sapkowski. It says CD Projekt famously got the rights to make Witcher games for a flat-up front fee, which novelist Andrzej Sapkowski wasn't thrilled about after the games became enormously popular. Since 2018, the two parties have been negotiating a new deal, and in December 2019, they finally reached it. The new agreement solidifies and reinforces the company's relationship with Mr. Andrzej Sapkowski, author of the Witcher saga. This was actually, I believe, a lawsuit. So yeah, CD Projekt Red has had their time in court for sure over multiple issues. Definitely, I guess they are used to it by now, for sure. Now, continuing onward, let's keep going here. This article goes on to say this. While developer CD Projekt Red hasn't outright confirmed that there will ever be a Witcher 4, it certainly hasn't been ruled out completely. As we've explored above, the team isn't averse to talking about the idea of another Witcher game, and it's getting more interesting after CD Projekt, the parent company of developer CD Projekt Red, signed a deal with Witcherbook author. Yes, we already know that. Now, they said we always admired Andrzej's works, a great inspiration for the team here at CD Projekt Red. I believe today marks a new stage for a continued relationship. But talking about a new Witcher game isn't a new thing at all. In an interview with Eurogamer back in May 2016, CD Projekt Red co-founder Marcin Nowinski said the team didn't have anything planned when it came to the next Witcher game. As we said before, we never say never, but right now it's really Blood and Wine. This is the end. Blood and Wine is the closing, and there won't be any Witcher anytime soon, if there ever will be one. Wow. That's a little bit dark of a statement right there. But again, that was in, what was it, 2016, 2015, roughly. So, things have changed a lot. You have to remember that for both CD Projekt RED and the Witcher franchise. They have a Netflix deal. They're going to want to get back onto The Witcher, I personally think, a little bit sooner than they even thought. But they also did speak briefly about how the team is kind of fatigued working on the Witcher franchise, and that they really needed to mix it up for the team's, I guess you would say, mental health. And that's why Cyberpunk became a thing as well, so they can have something different to work on. So right now, it seems like, at least for the next, I think, 2 to 3 years, they're going to be hyper focused on the Cyberpunk experience, both single player and multiplayer. However, my personal take on this is that we would be seeing some sort of standalone Witcher game, and it would revolve around Ciri, as indicated in this article right here. So that's where I think The Witcher is going forward. But my question is this for you. Do you guys want to see some sort of fully fleshed out trilogy again? Do you think that they should be standalone games, much like Assassin's Creed has been doing? Because you guys know that Assassin's Creed kind of has abandoned the whole trilogy series, and they've done their own thing with that. Perhaps the same could be true about the Witcher franchise, that they could really begin experimenting with more Witcher stories. But sound off. Let me know what you make about all of this news. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 4, and open world gaming goodness. And I will see you all next time. Take care.